Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. Hopefully, we've got a video in store for you guys today. So we got confirmation the other day. Aaron's been dealing with the window and door manufacturer or seller, and apparently our door is ready and they're bringing it over today. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. They were supposed to be here like an hour ago. So she's been the one that communicating, so I'm not kind of losing it on them. But the plan today is that they're going to bring it over. They're not going to install it because they don't get paid to install it, but they need to help me get it up to the top of these stairs, set it in the doorway. So I will go ahead and take a look at it first, measure it out, make sure everything's good like that. And then I'll go ahead and put the caulking down around the bottom and up the side a little bit, like in the corners. We've got to get this brushed off and get it cleaned up. And then hopefully they can just put a hand on it while I get like one or two nails into the frame or however it installs. I got to take a look at that and see how it does first. Hopefully it's the same way with like the garage door, and the nails and everything will go through the sides of the door and go into the wood here, but we'll just wait to see when they get here. But fingers crossed it happens. After 36 weeks, the door apparently is on a truck and it is on its way. So let's see what this thing's going to look like and how to install it.
Yeah, this is the patio screw.
But I'm gonna let you finish it up and take these down. That should be dead on. Let you run a screw into the head again.
Just to hold it?
Yeah, just hold it in place. That way we can close the door without fear of it falling out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't like this gonna work either.
Too much an offset between.
I'm hitting the weld before it goes into the.
Yeah.
I'll try. Yeah, just push hard. Ready? We are ready. More of those, that would be awesome, because I can only make. No way they gave an odd number. Four, it should be at least 8, or they didn't even give me enough to do the door to begin with. There wasn't another one in my truck, was there?
Yes. I think there was one on the truck seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's 8 needed, so I can at least.
Did you get the one down here?
Yeah, that's one I just made.
Okay.
So I can get at least 1, 2, I can get 4 out of the 8 done with these.
Okay.
So those welds should be fine, especially because it's going to be caught and seamed away from the weather. It's not going to rust out. But yeah, if they can make more, if not, then I need
another 8.
Another 8 to make 4 more.
Okay.
Well, 36 weeks later, she's in. That was kind of a, not too bad of an install. That thing is heavy for a fiberglass door. I thought it was going to be a lot lighter. Obviously we had a little bit of struggle getting up on these stairs, especially when the first step isn't on the ground. We're like on top of the 6x6, which is off the ground, and then that first step obviously has 7.5 inches, so there's 7.5 there plus 5.5 plus the distance to the ground, so your first step up's almost like 2 feet. But we got it up and got it in, and like I said, it's here. It's not 100% installed, so let's take you inside. I'll show you what's going on, and get a little bit of a look out here, and I'll tell you some features that it has. First thing, Therma-Tru. Obviously, pandemic reasons, mess up on painting, things happen, whatever. Bottom sill plate messed up, whatever. So if you guys remember that picture from a while ago, it looks like they double panned it this time. So you can clearly see a line right here where the pan was extended. This bottom trim over here was fixed, so it all flows down evenly, and it's all one freaking piece now instead of multiple. But that looks a hell of a lot better. Color, Aaron picked it. Yeah, I think it looks okay. Few spots that they put some nails in and then probably filled it in with like some caulking or something and then touched it up. I'll probably a few spots that I may want to touch up, but it's not bad. This is again a 8-foot tall door, 42 inches wide, which is exactly what Aaron and I wanted. That way you can bring in washer, dryer, whatever you want through this front door, and it'll be completely easy to do. And as you can see, it opens pretty wide, so you still lose a little bit of inches over here. But imagine if you only had a 36-inch door and you were trying to do that. You lose a little bit of inches when the door doesn't open all the way, and that just takes down on bringing stuff in. But that is a hell of a door and hell of a doorway entrance, and I really like it. So some features of it. I don't remember picking out any hardware. I thought this was going to be empty, but obviously kind of a matte black finish here. Has an integrated deadbolt, and because the door is so large, when you lock it, when you lock it, there's a pin in here that has to be closed or you can't lock it. So that way you don't slam your door shut and ding it up. But when you lock it, it's got upper pins and it's got lower pins all along this metal track inseam right here, which then obviously locks into the door frame itself down on the bottom, in the middle, and up top. So that's nice that you've got basically 3 points of attachment. Plus, if you want to consider the handle, a 4th right there. The only thing I hate about doors is I wonder still how strong that is, because usually on a typical door, they want you to upgrade your hardware, and the screws in here, if they're only like the little baby 1-inch screws, they want you to upgrade to like 3 inches. So not only are you screwing into a door frame, but you're also screwing into the rough opening of the wood frame itself. So that way you can't kick this door in a lot easier. But unfortunately, a 3-inch screw isn't going to work because you don't have a lot of metal or wood in here to work with. But I may take one of those screws out, see how long it is, and may beef up maybe a 2.5-inch screw or something to make that a little bit stronger. But the reason why the door is not set is how this door sets is on the inside of the door, screwed into the frame, is an acceptor that basically looks like this bracket, but it's reversed. And then from the outside here, you take this bracket, hammer it in like this over here, and when that gets hammered in, these ribs kind of lock into the reverse ribs on the inside of here, and that's basically how you set it. Well, unfortunately, with the size they gave us, just the tip here starts to engage the inside track, and unfortunately, they need to be like 3 inches longer. So what I quickly did on 2 of these is I just ran out to the garage. I welded 2 of these together, and then I cut it back right here. So I've got basically like all 6 ribs now engaging on the ribs on the inside. But by combining those, we have now 8 of those are needed, and now I'm only gonna have basically 4 that are holding this door in instead of 8. So I asked them to contact the manufacturer and see if they can just get me the 4 more with like 2 or 3 inches longer, or give me 8 more and I'll have to weld 4 of them together to make 4 more brackets. But it doesn't seem like too big of a deal. But that's how the door installs. So that way you're not sending screws like through here into the frame. So that way you don't have to like Bondo and cover up a screw in here. Everything is internally set on these brackets, and then they give you a hell of a lot of bracket mounting holes. And I just had some 3-inch roofing nails left over that's holding that bracket in. So needless to say, 3-inch nail isn't going to go anywhere. But thanks to the Northern Window and Door Company, probably won't tell their boss about that. They did help me set it up there a little bit. They've got some blow up airbags that you put in the jamb, and that kind of keeps the door pushed one way as you blow it up, and then you can relieve the pressure on the other side, and that helps obviously get the door set. So thank you for you guys allowing me to, or you guys basically helping me set the door with those airbags and using your laser levels, because they were a little bit easier to do. And when I had it first set with my laser level, the door was kind of crooked like this, but we got it shimmed up real quick while the other guy came over and finally gave us our hardware. So not only on all of our metal doors or our windows do we have our metal latches that won't snap and break, but we also have our nice little turn dials. So when you actually want to open up the window, as you can see now, it only takes a few seconds to go that much, instead of turning this like little 1-inch dial where you're just turn, and it doesn't open fast at all. So these cranks will be a hell of a lot nicer to work out here. We can open all the windows up in just a few seconds now and get a breeze going through here, so that way I'm not roasting to death. And they did bring over all of the window screens, but I did not have them install them, obviously, because we don't want to get them dusty and everything. They brought over the hardware for the back door and the screen door for it also. Everything's down into the basement. So hopefully coming up soon here, we'll be able to figure out when we can actually get the back door and the back 2 windows installed, and then we'll be completely done. We can be pretty much weather sealed in here, and it'll just make for a little bit tighter of an environment so that bugs aren't getting in here, even though that we are sprayed. And yeah, that's about it. I think we're coming along. That makes me feel good. Hope Erin loves it when she gets home. We'll get her reaction later tonight when she pulls in, and we'll just see what else we can do for the day. The only thing that'll be a question is when we come over and we actually do the blower door test. I'm probably going to have them actually do the blower door test on the garage door, so that way we see how tight of an envelope we have in the house. But instead of them having to do everything with that door, I'm not worried about leakage really leaking out into the garage and us losing heat, since the garage is going to be heated and cooled. I would rather see how well the performance of this front door works. So when we do the blower test, we'll have them install it on the garage door. That way we test everything appropriately, and we know just how tight we are and how good of an envelope I did. So yeah, that will be in another later video when we get everything completely buttoned up. But again, I will see you guys back here tonight when Erin gets home, get her reaction. And then there you go. 36 weeks of waiting on these also for our hardware and stuff, but oh man, everything works so smooth and crisp and clear now. It's awesome. So hang tight and I'll see you guys back here tonight. What?
This. That's another.
Well, don't step on it.
No. Dangerous work zone. Am I allowed to open it?
Mm-hmm. Are you?
I live here.
Not yet.
Get out of my house. I love it!
Do you?
I don't know, hold on. It feels good.
Doesn't close all the way.
Let me close it again. It's got a good heavy close.
It doesn't though, because it bounces and you can't adjust this at all. So like the other door, I'm gonna have to screw this, do a little bit of shimming in here to get this to sit back in here further. So when you close it, that doesn't happen. Not to mention, they need to bring over those pads like the garage door up in the corners because it's clear as day, light is coming through. So those pads aren't gonna make the door close any harder, but there's no adjustability in here. And I hate to chip this wood out, but I don't know.
How do you like the look of it?
It's kind of lighter brown than maybe I wanted, I don't know.
If it were any darker, you would lose the contrast between the door and the house.
Yeah, but if we're using the gemstone to go around it, I'm assuming we have to go that way because it'll flush it out to where that's dead even. And you can even put more caulking behind there because it has this lip, but it doesn't really matter, I guess, because the door's caulked, but I don't know what could live under there, but I don't know. I mean, that's black and brown. If it was darker brown, it would hide or blend in a little bit more than just what that is, but I don't know. Now we could put the gemstone straight up to it, like the actual panels. So the panels are the ones that would end here.
Yeah.
And then this would go all the way up and around and back down
That's
to
how I
however
pictured it.
long the panel is. If not, you're gonna have to use 2 sets of these, but
I think one set and you run the panels up to it.
well, you have to cut the lips off so that you don't have that edge. Some of the stone looks like it's gonna stick out further, but I don't know. If you caulk or paint that edge, well, actually, you wouldn't have to caulk or paint the edge there. You would just have to cut off this stick out piece, but some of the panels, I don't know. If we're using a full panel, say 4 feet to go all the way up there and then go up and transition up the curvature, then technically there would be no seams and you would just have to cut that back end off of every single panel and then just stack them all the way up. And then you would have a factory painted edge. You wouldn't see the foam that you cut off because it would be way back recessed in there. I don't know.
Like the other door, when you gotta like, whoop, bam, you gotta pull it.
It's because the striker is set back in further, so when the latch catches around the striker, it's extremely tight. There's no way for air to leak out of the garage door. This, on the other hand, you got all the air leakage in the world until that striker can be set back just slightly. I mean,
It just feels like the other door is more work to get it closed. Who picked out that hardware? That looks good.
who?
I'm sure it was me.
When? They never told us about any hardware. This
Yeah.
is just what showed with the
No,
door
I think
today.
I picked it out.
I don't recall.
I don't either, but I think I picked it out. What do you think
Told
of the side lights?
It's nice that right now you can't see in, but at nighttime you're gonna be able to see in very easily. It's just a piece of glass. It's got
It's all right.
air bubbles in them, but
That's how I wanted it.
yeah, but I thought it was gonna be frosted.
Ew. I don't like frosted. No, I wanted this.
But now when you come up to the door, you can see right into the house.
Who's coming to the door?
I don't know. At nighttime at 5 o'clock when the sun's down, and it could be anybody.
Different lighting gives such a different look on the door. So now we're inside, lights off. That door looks 2 shades darker. Because I remember what it looks like when we were just outside.
Yeah, but what if it is darker?
Nah, it's the lighting. It's like looking at paint swatches and different lights.
You'd have to get a light on it.
Well, I guess we have to uninstall it and take it out there and turn it back and forth as hell.
I mean, it looks almost black in here.
I know. That's what you were saying you wanted, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm betting it's the same color inside and out, just differently.
Okay, so if you heard our conversation there, I'm not really happy with how loose the door is. And I kind of tightened it up a little bit. So one of the things I did was trim back the wood where the striker plate goes into. There was a little piece here, but unfortunately, this is about all I could trim off. So that may be a 1/16 of an inch to push the striker plate back further in the door just a little bit here. And couldn't go any more than that because then there's a plastic insert in here and that was bottoming out on the inside. So I'd have to like drill all of that out. So again, sucks to work on a $10,000 door, but easiest solution for right now, I took a shim and you can see it's not painted yet, but I shoved in a piece of a shim to where now you can see it sticks out that much more, basically probably a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch over top of where the striker will bottom out at, and it's pushed in there. So now when you close the door, there's still a heck of a lot of movement in the door, but let's face it, the front door is gonna be locked like 99% of the time. You're only gonna open it for guests and deliveries and stuff like that. We're gonna be pretty much always going out throughout the garage. But now with that room taken up in there, you can see that the door has still that much play. But now when you go ahead and lock the door, you can see pretty much all of the slop is taken away. So that's what I want. Now we can still check around the bottom here, which I can still see light clear as day down in there. So that's gonna be a major air leak that we've gotta put that foam pad in there, and maybe up in there, I'd have to see, but that's perfect now. That's how a door should close and should be tight. And again, it's not gonna be that airtight without the locking mechanisms actually engaged, but that's the way to do it. So I'll just paint that piece in there, pull it out, paint it black, so when it sits in there, it kind of just blends into the plastic black insert that's in there. But that should give us one hell of an air rating now when we do a blower door test here, as long as we get those corners down in there sealed up. And then again, if you guys missed this over here, this striker plate is set back further into the housing there. So this door, as you can see, there is absolutely zero play in it at all. The only thing that sucks about that is Aaron was complaining that the door is funny to open and close. The best way to do it is when you actually are leaving, if you give a little bit of push on the door and turn the handle, it opens smooth as butter. But after you close it, if you don't put a little, or from this direction now, you have to pull on the door. If you don't give ever so slightly of a pull to open it up, so to make it like baby smooth, if you kind of hear it. See, you hear that little bit of a pop? That's because the striker plate is so tight against the plunger in here. But for me, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. You either feel a pop in the door when you open it up, or you simply just give it a little bit of a pull and open it, and then there's no pop and the door opens very smoothly. But again, kind of what you have to pay when you want more air sealing for that door to push up against the weather stripping. So there you guys have it. Front door is here, front door is installed. We just got to figure out now a day that I can get a telehandler and a whole bunch of guys out here to help me lift these back doors up, and the back windows and the single sliding glass door, and then we can get those installed. And if you take a look over here, we've got some board and batten that I finished out the other night, and I just got 3 more panels to do over here, and then we can move the lift on down and get the LVL set and lift up those posts, get them on the diamond piers, and then we'll set our trusses, and then hopefully roof sheathing isn't that expensive. I think it's still probably like $50–60 a sheet, but I don't know. We'll go see how much that is and figure out when we can actually put the sheathing on, the ice and water shield, and then go get some shingles and start finishing out this back. But I want to get this video, guys, out to you so that you can see that we've got a front door. I think it looks amazing, feels amazing, Aaron obviously loves it, and that's just one more thing off the list that we need to do. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, turn that bell on so you get notified that we've got new videos posted for that day. And if you guys need to message us, hit us up on Instagram at NeckofTheWoods 2020, and we'll see you guys next time.